Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here. I'm having more issues with my save. You've seen over the past couple episodes weirdness with orbits jumping around and things like that, and it's getting worse. I can't play for more than about 20 minutes without the game crashing, and it's not memory this time because, as you can see, I have unloaded the whatever it is, Kerbin side. And I have this memory thing that's telling me that I got plenty of memory. I get 2.5 gig used. So that means I have over a gig available. And I don't know if it's bit rot. I don't know if it's the creeping Nans. I did just random Kraken attacks. I have no idea. But I can't play the series like this. I barely have enough time to play it as is. And with fixing bugs, I don't have time to do that. So I'm not going to say I'm going to quit the series, but I'm going to definitely put the series on hiatus until I find out what the problem is with everything. And I think if I can't fix it, I'm just gonna throw in the towel on Kerbal Space Program until 1.0 comes out, and then start up a new series then. In the meantime, I'm still going to be doing FTL. I'm still going to be doing Invisible Ink. I'll probably bring that back. I'm still going to be doing XCOM, although nobody watches XCOM. So I am still doing stuff. I'm just gonna stop Kerbal Space Program. I just can't. So for the next however long this video is going to be, I haven't edited it together yet. But I'm going to be showing you some bloopers that I have saved off of all the episodes for the past 26 episodes. I was going to save it until episode 50, but maybe there won't be one episode 50, so I'm just going to throw them out there now. So, enjoy. Sorry about that. I just couldn't resist with the episode coming out on April Fool's Day. We have some plans on Gilly. There's absolutely nothing wrong with my save, other than there is weirdness, but it's Kerbal Space Program. You expect weirdness. We are building a launch pad on the base here. The sun is rising, and very soon this launch pad is going to be ready. So I figured we would watch the sunrise together and then build this launch pad. John Droid put those stakes out. He surveyed the location. Dawning here as we... there we go. This is all dramatic and everything. Let's go ahead and finalize the build and hope it doesn't blow up. Bam! Here's our new launch pad. This was a suggestion from... let's close this. This was a suggestion from the maker of the mod. He's like, hey, if you're having trouble keeping things attached to the ground, why don't you start with something attached to the ground? And so I am. The main thing I have to do now is never, ever hit the space bar when this thing is attached. Now, I don't think... Yeah, see, I can't rename this thing. I can't do anything because there's no thing attached to it. And also, I'm going to have to attach pipes to it. That's why we have this. And that's where John Droid comes in. Oops. Get your pack out. Let's go ahead and head over here, and we're going to attach this guy to the main base, and then we are going to build a ship on it, and that ship is going to get Francois to Jool. That is the first goal of the grab this and link this. The first goal of the Eve base, or the Gilly base, I should say, is to get Francois to Jool. The second goal of the Gilly base is to make our Eve lander. And here's where I actually do have a problem, and this is not part of an April Fool's joke. Remember when I said I had lost the save? Go ahead and link this. There we go. There we go. We have a base. Let's go ahead and, John Droid, you get down back on the ground. Let's go back to our base here, not our pads. Let's go back to our base. Let's bring up our extraplanetary launch pads window. Now we don't want John Droid Kerman base. We want pad 1. And I'm actually gonna close this because I don't want to screw this up again. We are going to rename this pad to Gilly Launchpad Alpha, because there might be another launch pad. Oh, look at that. Launchpad Alpha. Launchpad Alpha. There we go. Launchpad Alpha, and okay that. Now when we go into the extraplanetary launchpad window, we can say Gilly Launchpad Alpha. Yes, we're going to select the craft, and I've already built this craft. This is Francois, and I just realized I named it wrong. Franco. Yeah, I put the apostrophe in the wrong place. Screw it. I'll fix it after we build it. It's a very small ship. We actually have the parts for it. Let's go ahead and build it. It says it's going to take 2 hours and 31 minutes, which I think is a very reasonable amount of time. But anyway, back to the Eve issue here. This actually might go a little bit faster if you get back in the ship. So let's send you back in. I lost the text file that had all my notes on it, including who had volunteered to be the first Kerbal on Eve. I honestly don't remember who it was. I think it might have been one of the people whose name starts with G, but other than that, I don't know. I write these things down as Indiana Jones's father did, so I don't have to remember them. So whoever you were, tell me that you want to land on Eve, and I will land you on Eve. If nobody comes up and says in the next, say, month before I actually go to Eve, if nobody actually says, "Hey, I was the one," then I'm just going to pick somebody, whoever happens to be next on the roster. But anyway, let's check out our build here. It still says 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's still 2.5 hours. So John Droid, you weren't actually helping very much. Maybe you're not even an engineer. I don't know. But let's go ahead and build this ship, because the faster we get this thing built, the faster Francois can be on his merry way. I need to make this thing set alarms. Pause the game, I should say. Let's close the alarm. Let's finalize the build. Bam! This is officially our first nuclear engine ever built, and we built it on Gilly for some reason. And this is Francois' Flyer, which I'm going to now rename. Actually, I can't rename it because it's attached to the base. But Francois is now destined. Where are you, Francois? Head on out. Where are you? You're on this thing. Get your stuff going. And I just realized we did not put solar panels on this thing. So we're going to take these. I'm going to miss you, Kerbal Attachment Systems, Inventory Management. Francois wouldn't be able to do this in Kerbal Inventory System because he is not he is not a engineer. Come on. There you go. Okay, I'll do this and I'll be back in a second, and we'll get Francois off to Jool. Okay, ignore what I just did. As I was putting solar panels on this thing, I realized I was missing batteries, which you guys have always told me you got to have batteries, and you're absolutely right. I was missing. Really, I wanted 2 solar panels, and I also wanted a set of reaction wheels, and I wanted a Kerbal Engineer system, and I also wanted a probe core, because Francois, being a non-pilot scientist, can't use a probe core, can't fly a ship without a probe core. So I tossed this aside. We'll recycle it eventually, if ever. And in the meantime, we're going to build this thing, and Francois is going to clean up these spikes because we don't need them right now. And I'll be back when he's actually ready to take off. Okay, this is Francois' Flyer 3. There is a Francois' Flyer 2. But it didn't have a probe core on it because I forget things, and after making everything, I forgot that. I had recorded all that, but then my not just my game, but my entire computer crashed and lost all the footage. And luckily, I had a quick save from before I crashed, so I was able to just basically put this thing back in the queue and get it built. The other thing is there is no fuel anywhere in here, even though last episode, if you remember, the game said that I had like instantly drilled a ton of carbonite, and then let me turn this off. No, it's already turned off. Good. So the game had said I drilled a bunch of carbonite and then converted it into fuel really fast. That was apparently a bug that didn't actually happen. It was just a display thing because I don't have the fuel and I don't have the carbonite. So I'm going to have to fast forward until we have 720 total fuel available to us. And once we have that, this thing will be full of fuel, and Francois will finally be able to take off. And through the fun of Time Warp, I have fast-forwarded way too much. We has 942. But the important thing is this guy is full. He has a probe core. Francois is on the surface. This is not Francois. This thing has a little bit of fuel in it, but we can deal with that later. Francois here on the surface is finally ready to get in his ship and take off. He has everything he needs to get to Jool, except for the ability to hold onto a ladder, but he is a scientist. What do you expect? The engineers are all laughing at him. Yeah, there we go. Okay, he is in his ship. We are going to show the UI here and release him. T. Oh, look at that. You have an SAS and you even have like directional markers. How awesome is that? Okay, we're just going to we're going to stage your engine. Just going to get you going up about, say, 20 meters per second. Which might even be enough. No, it's not enough to escape. That's perfectly what we want. Okay, now, if we look here, we have an engineer available to us. We have 8,972 meters per second on this guy ready to go, which is pretty awesome. And he's full of monoprop, which I didn't want him to be, but he's already taken off, so there's nothing we can do about it. Now it's all about getting him. This is a terribly inefficient orbit, but you can get away with terribly inefficient orbits around Gilly. And my cat agrees, by the way, that you can get away with terribly inefficient orbits around Gilly. Let's go ahead and snap this to apoapsis so we get a nice circular orbit, 31 by 22. There we go. That's closer to what we want. Okay, aim yourself at that maneuver node. Aim yourself at that maneuver node. There we go. He's got a pretty good turning circle, or the speed of his turn is pretty good, I should say. Basically, Francois is going to let the computer run the show here because he doesn't know what he's doing. He just wants to compare. Here's the lore I have made up around this thing. Is Francois, upon landing on Gilly, has realized that his theories about Bop are correct, that Gilly and Bop are actually twin planets. And he needs to go to Bop to determine exactly how Bop got out to Jool while Gilly was around Eve. That's the lore. But we'll see exactly what that means here in a little bit. Cannot go faster than, oh, he's almost up to 8,000. That's a good reason to go straight up as opposed to trying to burn sideways to be all efficient, because there's a certain thing about time efficiency that makes that a better idea than fuel efficiency. So supposedly a 2-second burn. We are 5 seconds away from apoapsis. I'm just going to hit the gas when we are 1 second away. And we should be pretty good. Apoapsis and periapsis. I want my periapsis above... I actually want to be in orbit mode. I want my periapsis to be above 20. Because you get decent time warp above 20. There you go. We are in orbit. Now, to go to Jool, we want to exit Gilly. Actually, this is very convenient. Because we want to exit Gilly heading this way from Eve, which means we're closest to our periapsis, which is pretty awesome. And actually, I almost want to leave Gilly now. If we leave Gilly now, we will get a nice... If we do this... Get a nice low Eve periapsis. This is 200 meters per second. But then out here, if we then burn like this to eventually get out to Jool. Don't know which maneuver node that is. Let's go ahead and use precise node. We have a lot of things about this that are terrible. Let's set Jool as our target. And we need to burn down. See, because when we're here, Jool's going to be there, which means we need to burn even farther. So actually, this is probably about right. But the problem is, we're also screwing up this. Okay, oh, that's getting better. That's getting closer. That's getting farther. There we go. See, this is getting a lot better of an approach here. There we go. There's an encounter. Let's focus on Jool. Granted, it's a terrible encounter, but if we click one button, it'll go away. Okay. Yeah, we might have to resolve ourselves. This is a 2,700 meter per second burn, and it's going to get us an encounter with Jool in our escape from Jool is in 6 years, which is a very long time. Tell you what, let's do. Let's ignore this. Let's delete these maneuver nodes. Let's just see what the transfer window planner says. Let's see. Eve to Jool. We don't need to insert at Jool. And we want to do it in the next year. So let's plot this here. See, the best route is 5,000 meters per second, which seems really high. But of course, that's starting in a really low orbit, and part of that burn is going to get us up to where Gilly is. But the travel time would only be 2 years. And then, see, that's the crazy thing. It says here that it's 5,000 meters per second, but down here it says the total TV is 3,000. So I'm not sure exactly what this thing wants to tell me. And there really isn't anything better. I mean, we could do something here. This is 5,000. I mean, we have the fuel. That's the thing. See, these have much lower travel time and lower meters per second. So if we do something around here for $4.5 grand, that's going to get us to Eve in a year and 129 days. But we don't eject until year 3, day 312. And this 4,000 delta V is going to use up all of the first stage and part of the second stage. So it's going to be about a 10-minute burn, which is not exactly the best, but it's actually probably not going to be that much because, like I said, we're starting at Gilly instead. Let's go ahead and delete this because we don't have that. If we go out a little bit farther, now we're talking 6.7. Yeah, see, these burns are all going to be much over $5 grand. I think is not going to be practical. So I think we should do something like this here: 523-day trip for 4,503 meters per second. Let's give this a try. Let's add this maneuver node to the alarm clock here. It is, I just add, oh no, that's not the maneuver node, that's the window. Eve to Jool in 168 days. That's really not that far away. Eve to Jool, 168 days. Are we really in year, I guess we are in year 3 already. So, okay, we're going to try this. It is, though, after the Kerber to Jool window, which means the Jool NAR will be launching first. This is probably going to be a short episode, but I think it'll help with the April Fool's joke. By the way, my computer crashed about a half hour after I made a huge April Fool's joke about my game crashing. So if you guys think about doing the same, remember what happened to me. But in any case, next time we're going to launch the Jool NAR, and maybe we'll do a double launch. We'll do the Jool NAR and the Duna ship, because we got to get a ship to Duna as well. An extraplanetary launchpad ship to Duna, so that, because right now all we can do is Jool Carbonite there, and that doesn't really help if you can't actually build ships. So I hope you're enjoying watching this. I'm definitely enjoying making it. I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.